Welcome back on the VSC channel. The stable version of Samsung One UI 6 just arrived. I have it here on my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's running Android 14, and for the sake of the features and the presentation, I'm also going to be using another Samsung phone with Android 13 and with One UI 5.1. In this video, I'm going to show you all the new features incorporated in One UI 6. And so far it has been a very interesting ride because we received nine betas, starting with One UI 6 Beta 1 up to the latest 9th beta. So a lot of these things I already showed in some of the videos, but now I'm going to show you the final stable first release and the final product, which is still not perfect. And alongside the features, I'm going to also show you some bugs. So first, let's start with some of the design changes. This here is the Android 13 One UI 5.1 lock screen, and this is the lock screen that we have on the One UI 6. I am entering the editing of a lock screen. On the One UI 5.1, we are able to resize the clock. On One UI 6, I can not only resize the clock and change it, of course, but also I can move it around where I want it to be. This will be the end result, just having the clock where I want it to be. Now I'm on my home screen and I'm gonna show you the second very big design change. All right, I think this one is very easy. Right now you can still not see it, but the moment I go and unravel the full quick settings, you're gonna see that they're completely redesigned. This is the standard One UI 5.1 view. Samsung have been using this since a really long time. They fully redesigned the quick panel styles. Now we have this distinctive section starting with the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, all the quick toggles here in this very big medium part, the brightness bar down below with the eye comfort shield and also the dark mode. And at the bottom we have smart view and device control that is incorporated here at the bottom. One nice addition is to swipe from the upper right part and get directly all your quick toggles, which cannot happen on One UI 5.1. And how can you change this, guys? When you go and edit the style, there is something called Quick Setting Instant Access. The moment you turn this on, you're gonna get this feature. Brightness control, you can show always or only when you expand the quick panel, and you can also configure device control and media output. If I choose to not show them, when the quick panel is collapsed, I can only see the toggles. Now I'm gonna have both the brightness bar here with device control and the media output. Nearby share design also has been updated. Let me show you. I'm just gonna try to send some stuff over to my other phone. This is how it looks like. Speaking about design, I did enter the Samsung Music on purpose. Let me show you. On One UI 5.1, when you play a song, you're gonna get this, and eventually this is gonna be your media player, right? It's a bit boring. The moment I play the track here, it's gonna look the same in the app, but when I go and I fully expand it, I'm gonna get this very nice big media player. This media player will work on all your external apps, and it's very cool. Let me tell you why, because the moment you change the track, you're gonna get this very nice preview of the cover of the song or the album that you're listening in. So instead of the very boring old style where we just have something like this here, almost no artwork, and we have a very boring bar, here we're gonna get full details, nicely colored, and of course I think the star of the show is really the progress bar. This new media player will also work on the long screen together with this new waveform, like this. I call this spectral analysis, probably it's not, but it's just a waveform. It anyway looks very cool. And so far, I believe Samsung are doing a good job introducing new design elements. And speaking about new design elements, yes, all the emojis have been now upgraded. Some people like them, some people don't. One UI 6 comes with Android 14, and you can see that it also adapted the new Android 14 toggles, which are almost the same as the one in One UI 5.1 Android 13, but also a slightly bit different. And probably just looking at the connections, you're gonna see one very big change. Samsung changed the One UI 6 default font with a new Sans font, and I have to tell you, it looks very nice, somehow better than the old one, somehow more condensed, and it's just a pleasure to use it. If you're using an older One UI 5.1 with Android 13, there is also a way for you to get this new font. You can just have to search on XDA. But we have more design changes. Let me head to the camera. We have a fully redesigned settings bar on top of the phone and also new animations. If I'm to go inside the settings, you can just see how it works. A bit different than One UI 5.1. And what's even more important is that now you can very easily select the megapixel of the camera. And we do have also a filter button here that will allow you to choose filters on face and on color tone. It gets even more interesting when we go down and choose the video mode. Now this is the old boring One UI 5.1 style. Now we can very easily just click here. The moment I want to change the resolutions here, I'm going to get this very nice menu with the background blur. The moment I pick this phone, guys, and I want to change the resolution, I'm just going to get the very boring menu that is here. But the changes on the camera is not only on the design, there are also changes to the features. First things first is the audio FPS function. Now, the audio FPS function in One UI 6 supports 3 modes. You can turn it off, you can only use it for 30 FPS video, or you can also use it for 30 FPS and 60 FPS video. What this function will do, for example, if you're using 60 FPS video in a low light environment, the phone will drop the FPS in result of taking more light. The watermark options on One UI 6 now give you a lot of customizations. You have some information that you can show. It can be a custom one, like in my case. You can select the date, you can select the time, you can select only one or a combination. You can also choose from the default font or others, and you can also choose the alignment. And you can also select where to have the watermark, like down or up. If I go back on the photo mode, let me show you what happens there. There is a brand new section called Advanced Intelligence Options or AI Options, which sounds a bit tricky. Why? Because this Advanced Intelligence Options actually lets you choose quality optimization. The moment you go for the maximum, you will have the option to turn the Scene Optimizer on and off. The Scene Optimizer is Samsung proprietary software for processing the photos after you take them, so post-processing, get a bit of a better HDR, proper highlights, proper shadows, and all of this. Now, you can go and choose medium, which will speed up capture time by doing less optimization, which eventually means that you will probably reduce the shutter lag. That's probably good for moving people and moving options, but then the phone will not apply this heavy post-processing. And in the medium option, you can just see that the Scene Optimizer is already turned off. So if you go to medium, there is no option to use Scene Optimizer. And there is also another third option called minimum. This really takes the picture as fast as possible without any optimization whatsoever. Yeah, you can try to test this. I test this on multiple occasions. Honestly, I always stick to the maximum. And we, by the way, know that the Samsung is not a great shooter for moving kids and pets, although with the Pro mode, you can compensate this. There are plenty of visual changes and new features in the gallery as well. So let me open a picture in One UI 5.1 and in the One UI 6. If I go and try to edit the picture in the gallery of One UI 6, I'm immediately getting all the edit options like Object Eraser, Remaster. If this would have been a picture of a person, I would get here the menu to add a portrait effect. Let me show you what I mean. If I go here to a picture, this is a portrait one, I will get the phone to analyze. Now I have the remaster option, the object eraser, and also the background blur effect. So I can go inside and I can decide the amount of blur that I want. As you can see, I'm able to play with the picture after I've taken this. And of course, there's so many other effects you would like to just use on the phone. As you can see, this is not available in One UI 5.1 based on Android 13. Now let me show you some of the new usability settings. The moment I select the picture, I can just hold it and I can decide it to just copy it whatever I want on this screen. But it's actually a bit more funny. Why? Because the moment I select it again, I can use my other hand and go outside to my home screen, open a random application and try to post the picture there. All of this is not possible in the One UI 5.1. Let me share with you. Let's say I'm selecting this picture, guys. Yeah, I can probably go and put it there, but I cannot go outside, see? So I'm just limited in copying the picture inside of the gallery. And there is something else. I decide to move this icon, right? I can hold it. And then what I can do, I can swipe with my finger and decide where to move it. So let's say I want to move it here. Let's try now the same on the One UI 5.1. The moment I start moving it, guys, yep, see? I don't have the option to manipulate the screen. So I have to manually go and try to move it with a hand. In my case, let me show you a real use case scenario. This is going to be very tough because I have too many screens. If I want to bring it back, I hold it again. The moment I have selected it, I just very easily can scroll and put it back. So this new touch and drag setup has been implemented throughout the whole interface. You can use it on your home screen, inside the gallery, inside your files. It's something very cool and it really adds a bit more of a power feeling to the way you can use and organize your phone. Samsung didn't only add some new visual changes, they also changed some of the editing tools, making them a bit more powerful. Let me show you. I'm inside of One UI 6, I want to edit a picture. So let's say that I decide to go with this edit. What I can do, guys, I can copy the edit. I can exit the picture without even saving it, right? And then I can go to my next picture. See, that's very cool. I can go here and boom, paste the edit. And you can do this with multiple photos, right? And of course, if you don't like the result, you can always revert back to the original. This is simply not possible in One UI 5. This is why I was saying that Samsung did not only change some of the visuals, they also enhanced the power tools that we can use with One UI 6. Another thing that Samsung did is to simplify the very long names of the Samsung stock applications. We have Samsung Music in the One UI 5.1, but right now we only have Music. This applies for most of the Samsung applications. Here we only have Health and not Samsung Health. Now let's go back on the picture. Let's say that I want to share this picture with myself, so I'm going to click the nearby share. And the moment I want to do this, guys, I'm going to get a preview. Speaking about usability, I need to share the predictive back animations, enabled system animations for predictive back. This is really cool and it has been there for quite some time, but finally now Samsung implemented it. But let me show you how this works. I'm right now into the settings, so I would go inside connections. The moment I go back on the One UI 5.1, I can just simply go back. It works like this, a usual normal back gesture. Here on One UI 6, once I'm inside, I can just do like this and see, this is really keen. And by the way, it works also in this direction, but I'm not satisfied to see that this doesn't really work everywhere on One UI 6. Now I'm in modes and routines, and here we have also some new improvements. On One UI 6, I have more customization options to change the lock screen and the home screen wallpaper individually. Now let's go inside the settings, because a lot of the new features and changes are here. In One UI 6, Samsung decided to put a standalone battery title, which is directly available from the main screen on the settings. And on One UI 5, I have to go inside the battery and device care, then click only on the battery and then get to this. And also the whole display here has been redesigned, so we can just see the usage in last full charge. This was kind of the old style. Now Samsung decided to go with something like this. Some people again like it, some people don't. They also introduced some changes inside the security and privacy. So this is the old one, still a lot of options, but in the new one we have even more. When you turn auto blocker, you're gonna get also the option to block software updates by USB cable, which is still something, right? And you're gonna get a whole new permissions and privacy view. So once you click here, guys, you're gonna be able to see all your applications and the permissions that they use. So let's say I want to see this for the last 7 days. I can see which of my applications access my location, my camera, or that Viber access my microphone, my location, and my camera. Let me go back inside the gallery and show you something cool. The moment I want to share this picture, right, I'm gonna get immediately here an AI suggestion that the picture is tilted because I edited it previously. Now, the whole panel has been redesigned, and the moment I want to share something on this on One UI 5.1, it's just sharing it, so you don't have these nice AI functions. But remember, that's the S23 Ultra, so it technically has the S Pen, which I'm not using quite much, but there's some new features for S Pen in One UI 6 too. One of the new cool features that at some point was removed from one of the betas, but now luckily it's back for the stable, is the magnify option. Now, see, I can just select this feature and I can magnify any part of my home screen, and there is almost no latency, as you can just see. It's really crazy how well they implemented this. That could be a very nice handy tool if you have problems with your eyes. But let me go back on the main screen. There are also some nice new settings for notifications. Now, first and for all, we have here all the notification icons. So it's very easy for you to understand, is this from Mixcloud or from AliExpress or from YouTube or from somewhere else? And take a look at this. The notifications in One UI 6 are not only using the app icons, which is very, very real, but also the grouping is insane because you get them grouped inside these separate boxes. On One UI 5, if you click here, you're gonna get all these chats and they will look really like one and the same big notification. As to in One UI 6, I'm getting all my different chats lined out here, and this new grouping works for most of the applications. Let me show you. Here, I get two separate, very distinctive peels. But there are more improvements. Let me show what happens with the pop-up windows on One UI 6 versus One UI 5. I'm using here Viber in a pop-up. The moment I go here in my recents menu, guys, yeah, it will just collapse. And then I have to click it back. What happens on One UI 6, the moment I go inside the recents menu, it will stay open in a pop-up mode. Speaking about multitasking, let's go back inside the camera. Now I can very easily swipe between the front and the back camera just by using my finger. Why? Because there is this new setting called swipe up, down to switch cameras. When you disable it and you go back, the moment you activate the front camera, you'll always stay on this camera. Now let me show you some more new features. When I'm inside the gallery, I'm gonna get this very big notification to go to Studio, which is a whole new application that allows you to edit videos project-based. What does this mean, guys? Like, let me show you. You can add your own videos here, you can add different emojis, you can add different text, and you can use this as a mobile power director. So I already tried this and it works quite nice. It's free, and if you have One UI 6, you're gonna get it. You can export the movies in all formats you want, and you can also combine it with your own music or download music. Now let's speak about the widgets, because this is, well, yeah, let me show you for yourself. When I opened the camera widget, we're gonna see that it's redesigned. We have some very nice, beautiful Samsung animation, and we have far more information compared to what we used to have. The only problem is with the widgets that they're, yes, still broken. What do I mean? The moment I exit them, we're gonna have an animation that is not so pleasant. This is a bit weird. It doesn't work all the times, but the moment we try to exit, it's going to be abrupt and it will kind of compromise on the user experience. Let me share something cool. You might think that those are my icons, and yeah, in fact, I can open them like any other regular application. But in fact, guys, this here is not my icons. What do I mean? Well, let me show you. The moment I hold it, you're gonna see that this is the updated Smart Suggestion widget. And this time you can really take the customization to the next level. Like, for example, what I did, I can totally make this 100% transparent, right? Or I can also go and make it totally black. And by the way, the opening and closing animation here is a bit better compared to what we have standardly. Although, animations I will cover in a separate video. Why? Because we have to give credit to Samsung. See here, guys, they already updated the animations and we have almost something that is very close to being non-linear, which means you can interrupt the animations as they go. On the One UI 5, guys, you can see here, the moment I open an application, I need to wait for the full animation to be executed. On One UI 6, it's not like this. The moment I open the application, I can just immediately try to interrupt it, and it's a bit more fluid. It works better compared to One UI 5. So, we're not saying that Samsung didn't do a good job on One UI 6, but we're just a bit frustrated because some of the things like exiting the widget animation can feel still a bit broken. I also asked a lot of you on Twitter and in my Telegram chat what other things do not work. Some people reported that the passkey information doesn't work the moment when you approach the camera and try to scan a QR code. Apparently this breaks. Some people reported some issues with fluidity. I really hope that Samsung will soon release a patch for the first stable One UI 6. And by the way, we have a really good indication to believe that this is going to happen. But now let's go back to the widgets because there are new widgets. The moment I get inside the widgets, I'm gonna get custom camera, right? So the custom camera is a totally new widget. You can add it everywhere you want. The idea really is to click on this widget and to turn your camera. So you can put here something like a custom title, all right? Then you can always decide what mode do you want? Do you want to start the front camera or do you want to start the back camera? Also, do you want to do portraits, video, pro mode? You can just see all the options are here. So let's say I want to do front camera and I want to do portraits, okay? And also, you can decide to save the pictures in a specific folder. And last but not least, you can use the latest image from the camera album as the widget background, or you can use an image that you decide. So now I'm going to save this, guys. I'm going to click this and it should start my front camera with a portrait mode. Boom. Front camera portrait. And see, the moment I open this, we have this very nice notification, VST camera, the custom camera. Samsung Health has been also redesigned to match the overall new design language, and now you have the option to add your own glasses of water that you consume. And Samsung really tried to implement all these new features like the multi-drag and drop everywhere they can. In the week and day mode, you're able to hold an event and just drag it whatever you want. And by the way, if you try to go outside, it's not gonna work. We have now a fancy new animation and also new reminder categories. So if you wanna use your phone to organize your day, this can help you. So these here are all the new design changes and new features inside the Samsung One UI 6. I asked you on my community page, where do you believe there are still problems? And people do report random things like the closing widgets are still a problem. Some people miss the flash on the wide angle camera. So it seems that it's still not quite perfect. The widget of the weather is broken. And in general, people are not so happy with the update just based off the fact that we have problems with just closing the widget. See here, guys, like when we close the widget, it really ends abruptly and we're missing this very nice animation. See in One UI 5.1, guys. It was really designed very well, and sadly this is broken for most of the widgets. Even when I open Spotify and I exit, I get this very abrupt ending animation. And on One UI 5.1 it was better. I really hope that Samsung will address it. We have again indications that they will very soon release a patch to the stable version. And I really hope that you like videos like this. And if that's the case and you appreciate my efforts, guys, you're more than welcome to support the channel, like the video, share with your friends, guys. Please, you and your family stay safe. And with that said, VST over and bye.